And now Buffy. I've missed
Oh
her
yeah.
dearly.
All right. So Buffy airs the next night, October 9th, 2001. All right.
Hmm.
That day was the date of the second anthrax mailing. All right. So that's what we were all scared about, getting anthrax in the mail.
What would happen if you got that?
Dead.
You're dead?
You open up that envelope, you're dead.
Real? How?
I don't know, man, but that's what they were telling us on the news.
Oh, see, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's poison. All right. Um, Couple big album releases this day.
Okay.
How about Is This It by The Strokes? That's their first album. And that really set the world on fire, really changed music, all right? Because rock, sort of down and dirty guitar rock, had been out of vogue for a couple years since Kurt Cobain died. And then The Strokes started a big wave of the bands. Do you remember
The Red
the
Hot Chili
wave?
Peppers.
No, they've been around forever.
Oh.
But no, it was the Hives, the
The
Vines,
Fray.
fuck you, the White Stripes. All right, that kind of shit.
The All American Rejects.
The Walkmen was a big one. Yeah, like the all Miller. That's emo. That's later, but this was like the garage rock wave.
The
And is
Cure.
this that they've been around since 1978?
God damn it. I haven't named one accurately.
No, you're terrible at this game.
I really am.
I mean, you are naming bands that start with the. I'll give you that.
Yeah. The Nickelback.
No, but you know
No,
what? But
that's
you
a
know
joke.
what? I saw that Nickelback was on Leno uh, this night.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. Do you like that?
To do what? Promote an album?
I guess they were performing "How You Remind Me."
Right, that's a good one.
All right, that is a great one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I forgot to look up what was on Tuesday night opposite this. Let's see. Ooh, Undeclared is on. Wow. Yeah, that was the thing with Undeclared. That's a great Judd Apatow show, his follow-up to uh what's it
Freaks
called?
and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks. But it premiered like right after 9/11. People, he always says that's why it got canceled so fast. Two new episodes of Gilmore Girls this night. Holy shit. But WB's like, we got to take down Buffy now that it's on UPN. We're going to show two new episodes of fucking Gilmore Girls. They've got Roswell on after Buffy, which I think is great. I think that's like the third season premiere or something. Roswell's was a fantastic show.
Okay.
All right. Maybe add that to the list.
I don't know
I,
about that.
Whoa! What's the problem with Roswell?
There's so much other good stuff before I get to
But it's
Roswell.
got a great Dido theme song. It's got a great cast with Shiri Appleby and the guy who was Buffy's friend Ford, who had cancer and wanted to become a vampire and lie to
Right.
me.
Billy
Or
Fordham.
Billy Fordham. That's right.
Right.
All right.
Maybe that's why you like that episode so much, just because of
Because it's
that
got the
guy.
guy from Roswell. That possibly contributes to it.
I
Yeah.
never understand because it's like you have that in your top like 30 episodes or
It's
something.
Joss Whedon wrote and directed it.
Really?
And it's got scary Spike shit in it, and it's got a great Giles Buffy scene at the end. It's a good episode.
It's fine.
All right. The other big album release this week, it wasn't big for many people, but it was big for me. Death Cab for Cuties, the photo album. And that was the first Death Cab album I bought. So I was like real into them at this time.
Yeah, that's cool. The photo album.
The photo album that has a movie script ending on it, which is the song that they're listening to in the car on the way to Tijuana on that episode of the OC.
Right. And a little fun fact, little thing that I like. I don't know if other people care about this, but in that movie, American Fiction, right at the end of that movie, that guy like wrote a book or whatever, and then Adam Brody shows up to turn it into a movie. And so I think that's kind of cool because that movie ends with a movie script ending, and Adam Brody shows up to do that ending, and all the OC connection,
Yeah.
uh, where he loves that
You told
band.
me this when you saw American Fiction. It felt like a stretch, but
Yeah, it
I
did,
like
but
that you latched onto it.
right, yeah. Well, I think I told you because I had already seen American Fiction, and then I watched the OC. Might have been the order of events, and then I learned he loved them so much. And then they had
Yeah.
that song. Yeah, I don't know. I think
All
that's
right.
fun.
And here's another thing. Uh, a sad death in the world of film, Logan.
Oh no,
All right. Uh, Herbert Ross passed away the day this episode aired.
rest in peace.
Herbert Ross. You familiar with him?
I don't think so.
He's a filmmaker, a director, and had an interesting life. He dropped out of high school to be a dancer, and then he went off to be a dancer, and that led him into directing movies. And he was married to a lady. She, for like 20 years, she died suddenly in the late 80s, and then he got remarried to Jackie Kennedy's sister. All right.
Yeah,
John F. Kennedy's wife's sister. And
Kennedy's might
he
have like had like they might have assassinated her or something. They could have covered that up. Someone dies mysteriously, and then the Kennedys are involved. I don't know about
no,
that.
come on, come on.
Seems weird.
I She wanted Herbert Ross that bad.
Possibly, he was like a dancer. He had great hips, like Tony Montana. What was his name? Tony,
I don't
Tony,
know. I don't know where you're
the
going
guy
with
from
this.
Saturday Night Fever.
Monero.
Tony Monero. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But she apparently didn't like being married to Herbert Ross because after Herbert Ross died, she said he spent their whole marriage just he wouldn't shut up about the previous wife. He was still obsessed with her.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Um. Uh. I have a Herbert Ross ranking.
holy shit. How
Do you want to
many?
hear it? 10
Yeah.
movies. I've seen 10 Herbert Ross movies.
All right. What decade did he really reign supreme in?
Um, he has some good runs in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Logan.
Well, later. I thought he'd be more like 50s, 60s type guy.
No, no. Number 10 from 1991. The worst thing I saw is True Colors. That's John Cusack and James Spader, and they're both lawyers, and it's dumb. Anyway, number 9, Footloose. He directed Footloose.
Wow. No
Yeah.
idea.
Number
They did
8,
a remake of that. Did you see that one?
I did not see the remake. No.
Okay.
The number 8 is The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. Number 7 is Undercover Blues, which is about Kathleen Turner and Dennis Quaid as like they're like a married spies.
That's fun.
Yeah,
It's like Killers. That's how that movie is.
right. I never saw that. Number 6 is Boys on the Side. That was his final film before he died.
I guess it's also Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Right.
But yeah, Boys on the Side. That was a big deal. Number 5, Pennies from Heaven with Steve Martin. Number 4 is a murder mystery from the 70s called The Last of Sheila. Number 3 is Steel Magnolias. That was a big movie.
Yeah, I heard that's great.
Yeah. And number 2, My Blue Heaven, which is interesting. It's the same story that Goodfellas is based on, but done as a comedy.
Love it.
And with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis and your favorite, Joan Cusack. And
it has like this. It's like Henry Hill, like the same
yeah,
characters.
yeah. Steve Martin plays. I mean, they're not named that, but it's based on the same like real life story or whatever.
And this is good. Maybe I'll watch this.
It's good, yeah. And my favorite of his is Play It Again, Sam, one of the few films written by Woody Allen but not directed by him. It's instead directed by the great Herbert Ross, R.I.P.
I recently listened. I'm putting up all the episodes on YouTube, and I got to Superman Returns, and I'm listening. I try to find like a good endpoint for the episode because like sometimes it has like an ad at the end or a song, whatever. So I cut that part out. And Henry was like, "So why not give it a 5?" Talking about Superman Returns, and one of your reasonings was, is that Singer or Ratner? It's one of those guys. One of your reasonings is that
It's
guy's a piece
Singer,
of shit.
Singer.
And I was
Yeah.
like, Daniel, really? That's a reasoning. If I ever pull that reasoning today, that wouldn't work. But back then, you could do that, and that was good enough for Henry. Henry's like, all right, fair enough. But today, I could never do that.
No, you're right.
They're a piece of shit.
You're so right about everything you're saying.
Yeah,
right
but go
now.
listen to that. You say that.
No, I kind of remember saying it. Yeah.
But also, you're like you needed better. Lois Lane was also one of your reasonings. Is that Parker? Is Parker Lois? Who's Lois Lane?
No, it's Bosworth.
Oh, Kate Bosworth.
She's
who's
not
Parker?
bad. Parker Posey plays like Lex Luthor's assistant or something.
Oh, bad guy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. All right. let's talk about Buffy. This episode, Afterlife, is the first one this season by our old friend Jane Espenson. And, it's interesting. She usually writes like the funny, goofy episodes, but this is a pretty serious one.
Very
Uh,
serious, yeah.
yeah. And directed by David Solomon, who has been around since season 2. He's one of Joss Whedon's right hand men. Uh, Last season he did Buffy versus Dracula. I think the penultimate one last season where Buffy was like in a trance or whatever. Like,
With Willow.
yeah, that was his last episode.
I had a great rewrite on that episode. I've come up with two great rewrites on Buffy and Angel that they should have done. One on Buffy, one on Angel. And
What was the Angel one?
I think they should have added a siren whenever Lindsay heads off in that episode. Whenever
Oh
Cop
yeah,
Sock is on
that's good.
I think that would
good.
be good.
I'm with you on that one for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's discuss it. Logan, what'd you think of Afterlife?
I liked it. Should it be a thing? Maybe should Jane stick to comedy, or do you like this episode?
I think this episode is great, actually.
Wow, so you're very high on both these episodes. Probably
Yeah,
higher than me.
yeah. This is my mom. I don't know how much she remembers Buffy or like individual episodes, but I remember she once told me this was her favorite episode of Buffy.
Holy cow, that's
Yeah,
huge. We should have got your mom on. We're gonna get Tim on for his favorite episode. We should have got your
Yep.
mom on for her.
Once
favorite.
more with feeling.
Yeah, that's Tim's favorite. Once more with feeling.
Yeah, episode 7 of this season.
Okay. Um. So yeah. So I liked this episode. It really all came together at the end. I was like, oh goddamn, Buffy
Yeah.
was really going through it. That was really good.
It's better on a rewatch, honestly, knowing like what Buffy's going through.
Yeah, I imagine that's when it all clicked was at the end. So I imagine it works better then.
Yeah.
But is this the first episode? No Giles.
Yeah. No, he wasn't in Bargaining Part 2.
Really? Okay.
But this is the first full episode, I guess.
Yeah. We're still gonna get him going previously on Buffy the Vampire because we had him at the do this one. Is that gonna still be his
I feel
role?
like some people they change it here and there.
Interesting.
They
Giles
cycle
here.
through. Yeah, I guess it was Giles here. We'll see him next week.
We'll see Giles next week.
Yeah.
Stewart Head. That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Willow says she talked to him and he'll be here in a couple days. So that's
Right.
a couple days later.
True. But they've had episodes like one day later. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, so we start out, we're all looking for Buffy because the last episode ended where Dawn is with Buffy, but nobody else. So we're
Right.
still like, where's Buffy? And but then Buffy and Dawn get home. Dawn's like, we're home, and then the credits go. But we go inside and we learn that Tara and Willow live here with us. That was
We
fun.
knew that.
Well, Buffy learns it, I guess.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Buffy didn't know that.
And we didn't know that they were sleeping in Joyce's room. I felt a little
True.
weird about that.
Yeah, I kind of did too. Yeah, but Buffy's like, my room's still okay, right? I love that set. Her whole house. It gave me so much memories. I feel like we haven't been here in a bit, but it gave me memories of Ampada, like that episode. And Ted, some of the scenes.
When Ampada had a like a dead body in her suitcase.
Yes, yeah, the thing, yeah. I missed this set. We haven't been here.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't understand this one line. Apparently, Mom used to have this phrase: either wash that neck or plant potatoes. What's that about?
I guess if you're dirty enough, you could. I don't know.
I
I
looked
really
it
didn't
up.
know what it meant either.
I looked up if that was a saying or not. I looked up either wash that neck or plant potatoes, and it was like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, season 6,
I
episode 3.
guarantee you it's something Jane Espenson's mom said.
Yeah, it seemed like it's something very specific to the
Yeah.
writer. Yeah. So we noticed Buffy's knuckles. She has bloody knuckles. I don't think she says why yet. It's
No,
like
not
that.
till Spike points him out.
Yeah. It seemed like a big revelation, but we already learned in the last episode that happened.
Yeah, but
They did it again.
it's the kind of thing that's horrible when you realize what happened, but it's even worse when you like see evidence of it.
True. Yeah. It is a very sad thought. And what was up with this where Dawn keeps turning lights on and Buffy keeps having this reaction to it? Did that mean anything?
I think Buffy's just been dead for a long time, so like lights are affecting her. She even says that like at the end when she's describing like why this feels like hell to her. She says everything's bright.
So then Spike shows up and he is shocked to see Buffy alive. He's like, how the hell did this happen? But he's pretty
Yeah,
happy. Look on his face. He has a very
he's
happy look.
conflicted.
And he says that 147 days have passed. This is 100 day 148.
But I
Apparently.
guess today doesn't count.
But I guess today doesn't count. That was my English accent. That was pretty
That
bad.
was beautiful.
Isn't it a thing? Sometimes I'll be watching this show and I'm like, isn't it a thing that he's not British?
Yeah, he
Like,
just does a good British accent.
that's crazy. I gotta see him in another thing. I still never have. Like all the watching I've done, I've never seen.
You got to
Or at least I
watch.
don't think.
Well, when you watch Battlestar, which you're planning on watching soon, you can then watch the prequel to Battlestar, Caprica. He's in that.
I don't know how soon. I sci-fi. I don't want to have too many mixes. I don't like. I'm not definitely not going to start it while we're doing Buffy and Angel.
Really?
Definitely not.
All
I'd
right.
rather watch Mad Men or any other show
Okay.
type show than another like sci-fi type thing. I guess space is different than Hellmouth shit.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah. I don't know. So we show up and Buffy says she's tired, so she's gonna go to sleep. I liked Willow here. She's like, "That's normal. Buffy always used to go to sleep." I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, good point, Willow. That's true." But she's really going out of her way to defend it. Like Buffy's
Yeah.
normal. I didn't fuck up. The spell went perfectly fine. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
I know it's in the privacy of their bedroom or whatever, but the whole thing where Willow says like she wishes, like she doesn't understand why Buffy didn't thank her.
Yeah,
I thought that was a little like Willow.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
your
then at the
shit
end, she does
together.
thank her.
I know, but she just does it to like because she knows that's what Willow's looking for.
I agree. That was pretty weird. But yeah, well, a nice or weird scene here, kind of where Anya and Xander are leaving Buffy's, and we have a nice little chat where we're like, "Is Buffy normal? Who really knows?" And then Spike is outside, and Spike is like, and he thinks that he blames Willow. He's like, Willow didn't tell me because she knows that if Buffy was bad, then I wouldn't let anybody kill her. So
Right.
so like they didn't want me close in case things went terribly. I don't know. But yeah, then we have that scene where Willow and Tara they're getting ready for
Well,
bed.
I like Spike at the end of the scene going like the magic. There's always consequences, and then he gets on his motorcycle and drives away. I love that Spike has a motorcycle now because of those dudes.
He took one of their motorcycles.
Yeah, yeah. Remember, it's the one he like drove around with Don with the football helmet.
Right. Yeah, you're totally right about that. I didn't put that
Mhm.
together. But he got a cool sick new ride out of that.
Yeah,
Awesome. I love the lighting in this scene where Willow she turns the light off and it's like pitch black, and then she like lays down in bed where we have like this beautiful light display set up for them to be in bed. And I just thought all that was very, very pretty, all the blue and stuff. And then we go
yeah.
Xander and Anya and all the lighting there. Great lighting this episode. Shout
Wow.
out to them.
Yeah,
Assumed crash positions we talked about.
yeah, yeah. No, I just think like Willow, her head's not in the right place at the moment.
She missed her friend. She wasn't thinking about the consequences, really.
Mhm.
But it all worked out kind of. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen, really. But Buffy, apparently Buffy is like she's just like in her room standing around. I didn't really know the whole thing. But why did she say everyone turn into skeletons? That's the demon
Yeah, I think that's
playing
she's
tricks
being
with her.
affected by that guy.
Yeah, a weird guy. So yeah, so Buffy, the weird moment here where Buffy like wakes up in the middle of the night, she's standing at the end of their bed and she's like, "You bitches don't know what's going on." And then we turn the light on and she's gone and it was all just fake. Buffy's sleeping.
Right. It's this ghost thing.
Yeah, it took over Buffy. But was that really
It
Buffy?
didn't. No, no. They say later that the ghost sometimes takes over their bodies, but it can also like manifest copies of them.
Oh shit. But this is the
Yeah.
only instance we see of that. All the other times that they take over their bodies.
Yeah, I know.
Xander and Dawn,
I love it.
Anya.
I think they didn't know what they were doing and they just came up with this creepy scene and then they later like made it work.
Anya's was the scariest one.
Yeah, it was
That
very
creepy
Evil Dead.
walk. Yeah, well, it was very evil, like kind of the new Evil Dead a little bit. That new like scary Evil
No, the
Dead.
old school Evil Dead because like the camera angle like was all like up on her face and like she was smiling and her eyes were weird.
But
It
I was
reminded me
not
a lot.
laughing.
No, but it was very Sam Raimi to me.
but I think the new directors kind of tried to rip off the Raimi style. Who directed the new one? I forgot.
I don't remember.
I thought we liked that one. I liked it more than you, I think.
It was okay.
Who
I like
directed
I,
that?
I liked it more than the last one.
I'm gonna look that up. Who directed that?
Evil Dead Rise.
Lee Cronin.
Remember, I kept calling it Evil Dead Rises.
Yeah, I honestly today I still don't. I have to look at it to determine which one it is.
Yeah.
But I thought that was very scary. Honestly, I guess we'll get to that in a second. Um, no, that's right now. I guess I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. This all happens like on the same night.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Her eyes turn all white as she cuts her cheeks or whatever. But it's all fake. I don't know what's going on. Well, it's not fake. It's
It's
real.
a ghost.
It's a ghost. What do you? Well, I guess you don't believe in ghosts. You don't believe in religion at all. You never had any kind of paranormal experiences.
No, I mean, my sister has. I don't. I think it can all be explained away, though. I don't buy ghosts
You don't buy it,
because I don't believe in an afterlife.
right? But you've never had anything like unexplained happen where you're like, well, I can't explain that one.
No, no. I mean, I've had so many friends and family that have told me like really interesting stories like that, and I just think it's bullshit.
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
It's amazing what movies are able to pull off. Like we don't believe in it, but we can watch a movie and be like, oh, that's totally real. Like buy what's happening.
Oh yeah, I can definitely suspend my disbelief for like
The
the
Conjuring.
classic movie monsters, ghosts and vampires and whatever.
Yeah. Right. Um, so I forgot where we were. Oh, I'm so sorry. Xander. Oh, we're hanging out in Buffy's backyard, weren't we?
Yeah, a rare Buffy's backyard scene. You don't see
Yeah.
those a lot.
Yeah. There's like where Spike comforts her on the back porch.
I think that was the front porch.
No way.
I don't remember. The only backyard scene I could think of off the top of my head is when in Dead Man's Party,
You fucking
they
love that episode.
do I?
You talk about it a lot, I think.
All right, but do you remember there was like a cat in the basement? They found a dead cat and then it came back to life. It was like a zombie cat.
Barely.
They buried that in the backyard.
Well,
That's all I can think of, though. You don't really see the backyard much.
no, you don't. You really don't. And but we learned Demon Hitchhiker possibly is the source of all this. Got in when Buffy got in,
Right.
grabbed onto Buffy and got in. And I want to say this is like the plot. This is like the Meg. Do you remember that? This is how the Meg got in. There's like people go down with this ship to like go down and do water research, and they go through this thing, and it turns out the Meg like slipped through when they slipped through, and that's how the
Right.
Meg got in.
It's
I was
not
like,
like a
oh
portal, though, right? It's just like an
no, but
underwater cavern.
it's like a yeah, it's like a weird thing. I don't know. In
Did I
time.
ever watch The Meg 2?
I didn't. I'm waiting for the podcast. I don't know if you did. I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I
I
did,
think
but I
you
don't
talked about it
remember
on an
anything
episode.
about it.
I don't think you liked it. Definitely not
Yeah,
as much as the
I
first one.
watched it.
Yeah, I don't know. You
All
gave it
right.
two?
Yeah, I gave it a 2.
Yeah. And so yeah, so that's the thing. Buffy brought back a demon from hell or a ghost. I don't know. And but we go to the magic box. Love this. We're making a list of all the different demons that it could possibly be. And Buffy asks where Giles is. She's like, "Hey, what's up with Giles?" But we say he's coming back. Don't even worry about it. And then Dawn, Buffy like leaves. She's like, "I'm gonna go patrol. I'm bored." And then Dawn has those white eyes.
Yeah.
I still didn't even know what was going on. I thought we were
She
all just.
breathes fire.
She did breathe fire. Yeah, that was kind of cool, actually. Love this part here where Buffy walks by a statue of an angel and we shoot it like we like follow her like it looks like she has wings. That's like its
Hmm.
only purpose in the episode. But
Well, it's foreshadowing because later in the episode you find out that she'd been in heaven.
right, yeah, she's an angel. Turns out
Hmm.
Buffy is an angel. Buffy's angel.
I knew that was coming.
um, so yeah, so Anya comes back. It's like the middle of the night, but Anya found a coffee shop, one of those 24-hour coffee shops. That's pretty cool. But she got Dawn some hot chocolate. She's not old enough for coffee.
Yeah,
And
but if I was there, I would hope she'd get me hot chocolate. I don't like coffee.
really,
Yeah.
hmm.
What?
But would you know though? Like, that's so much effort. Do coffee shops usually, is that usually an option at coffee shops? Hot chocolate?
Absolutely, it is. I
Okay.
stop in a Starbucks if I have to kill some time. I'll go in a Starbucks, have a hot chocolate.
Wow, didn't know that was an option at coffee shops. I thought
Mm-hmm.
you were like adding on a lot of extra time. Like, hey, give me a hot chocolate instead. I really don't want coffee. But anyway. Uh, but yeah, so that's what happens there. And then so Spike is in his crypt. What was it supposed to mean something that Spike gets his knuckles all bloody too? Did he do that on
Um,
purpose to like match Buffy?
no, I don't think so. I think he was just angry and punched some shit.
He looked down like, oh, now we are similar. I don't know. But then yeah, so Buffy shows up and Spike talks about like Dawn, like how he feels bad or whatever. I don't know what was going on
Yeah,
there.
it does sort of feel like, but like Spike is the only one who Buffy can talk to now.
It is true. Yeah. Because everyone else holds her like in, well, he holds her in high regard too, but everyone else is like just such a close relationship with Spike. It's kind of like talking to a therapist.
Yeah, and I
Like,
think Spike also just like understands what it's like to have died, which
true.
is yeah, which none of the other ones can remotely relate to.
Yeah, that's actually true. I felt like this was like dumb. Like like it was supposed to be deep, but it was just dumb.
What?
This thing that like Tara says, where she's like, I prefer the sunrise more when I'm waking up rather than when I stay awake the whole night. It's like I'm seeing it from the wrong side. It's like what? Wait, that sounds like a thing that I would say, like thinking it's deep, but it's actually just stupid.
Yeah, it does sort of sound like something I'd say when I was stoned.
It sounds like a stoned thought, basically.
Well, maybe in this moment, Amber Benson is channeling her character from Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Is Seth Green in that too?
Yep.
Do they have any scenes together?
I don't think so. She's really only in like crowd scenes, but she plays like a stoner. Seth Green
Oh.
actually has like an important part in the movie.
Is he in the bathroom?
For a large portion of it, yes, he's in the bathroom with Lauren Ambrose from 6 Feet
From
Under.
Oh, and from Servant,
Oh,
M
okay,
Night
fine.
show with the Omen, the first Omen.
That's right. Yeah.
We learn about tomogenesis. I wrote that down. Don't know how to say it though. I
I
forgot.
think it's Genesis, something
Oh,
Genesis. Yeah.
tomogenesis or
Right. This
tomogenesis.
is the process of like hitchhiking, or is this when they like are trying to like make it corporeal?
Yeah, they talk about how it's like between worlds. Like it's like it exists in the dead world, but it's trying to exist in the world among the living, and it jumps betwing. I don't really
Right.
understand what that word
Well,
means.
I gotta say, like the monster of the week stuff in this episode is not fully fleshed out, literally. Yeah. All right,
Wow.
because it's a ghost, you know. But the episode works for me on a real human level, just like what Buffy is going through.
I agree with that completely. Yeah, and they have to like really explain a lot of the monster of the week stuff. It's a lot of like explaining like why things are and like a lot of nothing. But the overall meat of Buffy, what she's going through, is good. But all this extra stuff I don't like. But anyway, so we go basically. Oh, Xander! Like it's a big thing where then it possessed Xander and it was like listening into the conversation.
Oh yeah, what does Xander say here? Thanks
Thanks
for
for
the
the
tip.
information or whatever.
It's the tip. Yeah.
Thanks for the tip. Yeah, that was hilarious. And so yeah, we go to Buffy's house, and Buffy fights the demon or the
Well, at first
ghost.
she's just like punching air.
Well, here's the thing: they make it visible to us, I think, more than it's supposed to be to Buffy, right? Because like we can see it perfectly fine, but to Buffy, it's like a big thing where we have to make it like a solid thing so that Buffy can see it.
Right, exactly.
But like what I was watching, it seemed like Buffy should be able to see that because we could see
No,
it.
Buffy can see it, but there's just nothing
She can't
there.
hurt
Like
it.
she punches through it.
Oh, I thought it was more to help her see it, but it's to help her kill it, grab it more, I guess. But yeah, so that happens. A bit thing where Xander drives slow. We're like, Xander, pick up the fucking pace. Put the pedal to the metal. I don't know. And so Buffy kills the thing. I
Yeah,
don't know.
pretty easily. Just chops its head off. That's it.
Yeah. And Don's like, these are probably the things I shouldn't be seeing, right? Because I'm a
Right.
little kid. And then the next day, I don't know if it's the next day, but Dawn heading off to school. Buffy made her some lunch. What do you think she made her?
Oh, peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, what kind of jelly? And what you think, creamy or crunchy peanut butter?
I think creamy peanut butter and a strawberry jelly.
Wow, I prefer the only really jellies I like are strawberry and grape, but I prefer strawberry to
I
grape.
like a blackberry.
I don't know. Start getting a little too crazy with the jellies. I'm not so into it.
Well,
I like keeping it
I'm not like a
simple.
huge jelly guy or anything. I never got that into jelly because I don't like peanut butter.
Right. See,
Yeah.
I do. But I guess that's where we differ.
Hmm.
Uh so yeah, I don't know. But we go to the magic box. Buffy shows up and she tells everybody, yeah, I was in
She
hell,
tells
guys.
everybody what they want to hear.
Yeah, it's actually really cool because that she's like, yeah, and then you guys saved me, and they're like, no, it's Willow, really. And Buffy's like, Willow, yeah, Willow, you saved me. Thank you, thanks for that, Willow. And then they all hug, and then Buffy goes outside. And she's like, yeah, and then my fucking friends had to help me break me out of heaven, basically. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, and just a second ago, she was thanking Willow for like, yeah, Willow, you really did a great job there.
Yeah, well, Spike overhears it. He's like, I didn't want to walk in on that, like, fucking Kodak moment. And she's just like, that was all bullshit, Spike. I was in fucking heaven. Like I like this is the worst thing that could ever happen to a human being.
And she says, this is hell.
Yeah.
Crazy. But she says they can never know. And then she walks away.
Yeah.
By the way, the funny thing here is that Spike's hanging out in this alley. It's the daytime, and he's like, there's just enough shade here." But he's like stuck there because the sun's
Yeah,
all around the
I kept
building.
wondering how the fuck he got there.
Yeah, how did he get there? Was he like, did he sleep there and he's been there hanging out all there all day?
Maybe there's like a nearby sewer. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess we have to
But
assume that.
but anyway, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar is fucking spectacular in this scene.
I agree. And she's gonna get my MVP. But up till this scene, she didn't have it. I was kind of like, another Buffy like catatonic episode. But she really brings it
Oh,
home at the
come
end.
on. Like what she's been through. Yeah, I guess I'm rewatching it. Okay. So like the whole episode, anytime anyone's talking about her having like been in hell, like I know what has actually happened to her. So like if you really pay attention to her performance in this episode, it is fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, it all clicked at the end. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
all did. So she's gonna get my MVP. And I don't know
Mine too.
LVP because there's nobody in this cast.
Yeah, it's really just the main people this week.
And no, not even Giles. It's like there's like six people in the entire cast.
Yeah, you're
Are
right about
are
that.
there a couple extras? Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Can I give it to the ghost guy? I mean, it's not an actor, but like I thought the character was underdeveloped.
Yeah, yeah, I think that I would do that too, only because I have to. There are two people not in our main cast. There's this Lisa Hoyle who plays a demon, and Brian Friday who plays demon number one, uncredited. Those are the only two people in this whole cast that aren't part of our crew.
Yeah.
So I'll do the same thing. We'll go with the ghost.
All right, there we go.
And so ranking time, I don't know where to put this. I think I like it more than the premiere.
Yeah, I do too. So take me there.
Well, I'm looking at mine. I don't want to get off mine because I am on. I think I'm gonna put it. Maybe I kind of like this one. I think I'm gonna put it between. I sound like Randy Savage a little bit. I'm gonna go between. I don't know, between Out of My Mind and Fear Itself, and I'm just gonna stick with it. Number 66.
No, I like it more than both of those.
Okay.
All right, start me at bargaining.
Bargaining, go up. So we go phases, something blue, the weight of the world, spiral, a new man, family, into the woods, new moon rising, amends, out of mind, out of sight. What's my lines?
Oh,
No place like home, the
no, all right,
pack,
keep going. Yeah, yeah.
and homecoming,
All right, all right.
intervention.
No, keep going.
Buffy versus Dracula. Come on, come on, come on. Checkpoint choices,
No,
faith,
no,
hope, and
no, no,
trick.
no, no. You're right. We're too far now. What? Where did I have Anne?
Above and is Homecoming. Below it is the pack.
And what's below the pack?
No place like home. What's my
All right, that's
lines?
it. Right there. Between the pack and no place like home.
Okay. So you have it at 53 and I put it at 66. So quite the difference there. I don't know about that. But I feel like I might have had it lower heading in, honestly.
I think you'd like this one more on a rewatch.
You might be right, but above it, like out of my mind, what's my line two? The Yoko factor, harsh light of day, the Iron Team, witch, into the woods. I only have eyes for you.
I don't know. I like some of those better and some of those not as much.
Yeah, maybe I'll end up putting it between like Yoko factor and what's my line two. Bump it
Yeah.
like 3 spots. But that's where I have it for now.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. And then over on the Patreon, this is what we got cooking up over here, guys. All right. We got a comment from Josh. He says
Laura
from
commented last week after we recorded.
who did? Should we read that?
Laura, maybe. I think it was about last week's episodes, but maybe you should pull that up.
Okay. So I'm going back to Buffy's Angels from last week. Oh, wait. Was it on the episode?
I don't know. It might have been on the.
I
I
don't
don't
see
know.
anything from Laura on Buffy's Angels last week.
Really? All right.
I
Read the
see
Josh one.
Joshua Cole. All
Maybe
right.
that's who I'm. Maybe it was Joshua Cole that I'm thinking of.
I thought we read that, didn't we?
Did we?
Last week, it took a lot longer for the show to really find itself. But once it does, it got extremely good. Yeah. Wesley and Fred, MVPs forever. Growing power. That's the one with growing power.
Oh shit! All right, never mind then. Whatever.
So Josh Merla says from last week's podcast, yes, I enjoyed that Ancona. What's that?
Ancona, that's the name of the pizza place where the guy says beauty.
Beauty. Yes, I enjoyed that Ancona story. As I said, I've been listening to previous episodes, and sometimes you'll say words, and it sounds like I'm like, is he saying beauty, but like he's saying different words? Like it sounds like you're doing the little beauty, but
I
you're saying
might. It's so part of me now.
yeah. There are like a few instances I heard. I was like, well, he's doing it. Yes, I enjoyed. Oh, it's still my favorite pizzeria ever. Beauty. So Faith has been the official Slayer on duty all this time. Seems irresponsible. Well, shouldn't they decommission her? Yeah, she's just sitting in prison. I don't know. This symbol, it looks like some sort of like Asian symbol, but it looks like a key from far away. You really gotta zoom in. Is apparently called the Tibetan Sproul Shad. I used it last week at my whim, acting like it was some interesting punctuation mark. I hope I haven't damaged my reputation with my silly hijink. No, no, definitely not. Guys, seriously, this podcast is consistently a highlight of my week. You're awesome. Thank you, Josh Merlis.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Josh. Now let's hear his thoughts on the episodes.
He says, Angel, Wolf. There was a lot of important stuff in this episode that I'm glad they got to, but I didn't have a good time watching this. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Everyone was on edge the whole time, and Mr. Miami was just a dick. I hated having to hear him talk. Sure, you can argue that he was an effective character because he elicited a strong reaction, but gee whiz, I was just bristling through most of this one. No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I would make that argument.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. And then he says about Buffy, this is what I'm talking about. Love this episode. It's a contender for the short list of standout episodes that I've been knocking around in my head for a while. So,
Mhm.
so he
With
really
my
loves
mom on this one.
Yeah, he agrees with your mom. Great lines include clean your neck or plant potatoes. And
He liked
Sarah's,
that. Look, he liked everything you didn't like.
I just didn't understand that. It's not that I didn't like that one. I was just like, mom said that. What does that mean? Like,
All right.
what is that? And then Tara seeing the sunset from the wrong side. I actively didn't like that one.
Wow, yeah.
And then he says, ghost blowjob, the demon saying, thanks for the tip. So he says a perfect episode aside from that one, that moment.
Yeah. This
What's
was an
my-
episode that could have had an actual ghost blowjob in it.
Yeah, we really missed out on that.
Mhm.
He says, want to see my Willow impression? And then just like a shrug thing. And he says, solid. Is that a thing she said? Oh, when she made the thing solid?
I think what he did. Oh, yeah. But what he's doing is the eyes, the black eyes.
Oh, yeah. But those are white, those things there. He should have done an emoji, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
the eyes are black. He did a good job. It looks like Willow as in her witch face.
But those are
It's
white
solid.
circles. You should have done black circles.
They are black on my screen.
Oh, shit. So I guess it just didn't translate to my screen.
Yeah.
but he did put in the
Um,
effort. Uh,
Anyway, fucking yeah, that's a crazy moment. Like they're doing like a whole spell and shit, and then Willow's just like, Tara, shut the fuck up. Solid. That's all I need to say. That's how fucking powerful Willow is right now. It's wild.
yeah, I thought you were gonna say it was crazy when her eyes went black, but we've seen that at least
No, yeah.
twice, I think.
No, we saw that for the first time back in I believe Tough Love in
The
season
the one
5.
with Glory.
Yeah.
Is that the one where Tara points out that Faith or Dawn's the key when she's like the green light
Yes,
at the
yes, it
end?
is.
That's a good one. Is the next one the RV episode? That's really like a fun stretch. That's sort of like
Yeah.
Pylea, the Pylea
Yeah,
stretch.
no, agreed. Like both those seasons have like fun little closing stretches.
Yeah, that was a good time.
All right,
Uh,
next week. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
All right, all right. We got Angel episode 4, which is called Carpe Noctem.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Noctum sounds like nighttime, like
Yeah,
nocturnal
it
type thing.
sees the night
Oh,
because
seize the
see,
night, of
yeah,
course.
Carpe Diem, of course, which was something that Buffy tells Willow in the pilot that is her motto.
That's Buffy's motto.
Yeah,
So
that
Angel's
when
motto is Carpe Noctum or whatever.
I guess. All right, and Buffy episode 4 is called Flooded.
Oh shit! Magic Box is getting flooded
Shit.
with customers.
Oh.
That'd be hilarious. Anya would be so happy.